Welcome everyone to this webinar. Thank you for joining us today. We're very excited to have you here to go through goal setting that will finally help you break par this year. My name is Mark Cormier. I'm a strength and conditioning coach in Hamilton, Ontario. Southern Ontario, it's a little cold up here, but we're still trying to play some golf. And I'm also joined by Lauren Woodburn, who is a mental coach for golfers, and she's going to take over this presentation after I do the first half. So we're really going to get you into the correct mindset and to create goals for yourself so that we make sure 2022 is the year for you. There we go. So how are we going to do this? The biggest thing you need to consider when you're creating a goal is creating micro goals and winning each part of the day. So many people make these big goals that will seem so hard to reach, or it's like climbing up a mountain for you to be able to get there. The biggest thing you need to think is you need to just win each part of the day, or you need to just win every single day. And those small micro wins will add up to maximum returns. So how do we do that? The morning, win the morning, wake up at the same time every single day, eat breakfast, do these things all the time. Don't just do them sometimes. Do these things all the time. Win each part of that day. Win the morning. Afternoon, make sure you eat a healthy lunch. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. So many people tell me that they're burnt out in the middle of the day, or that they have no energy in the middle of the day, but they don't drink water. They don't eat healthy food. They drink a ton of coffee. So they're constantly dehydrated. Drink some water in the afternoon. Make sure you're eating foods that are packed with nutrient-dense macronutrients and micronutrients so that you do have lots of energy throughout the day. In the evening, we're talking about eating a healthy dinner, maybe working out, maybe going for a walk, maybe socializing with your family. Make sure that you're doing the positive things every day and then eliminate the negative things. And night is the most important one of them all. Sleep. You need to sleep. There are so many studies that have been put out recently or in the last 30 years that have really highlighted that the best way to recover is sleep. So you need to make sure that you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. That might mean going to bed at the same time. That might mean not drinking caffeine close to bed, or alcohol, or anything that would disrupt your sleep. Another thing to consider is having a bedtime routine or shutting off your devices half an hour to an hour before you sleep. Now, a couple of ways that you can win each day. To-do lists. Create to-do lists. Use the notes function on your phone to start writing notes and reminders that you need to complete, or these to-do lists. Set notifications. So set notifications for every single part of the day. So maybe you set a notification to wake up, and then you also set a notification to go to sleep. Maybe you're crashing in the afternoon, so you're setting a couple different notifications to drink water. These are the things that are going to help you stay on track, is to automate as much of the things in your life that take up time so that you can optimize your time, and that these things seem seamless, and then you won't fall off track. The other thing to think about is activity trackers. So I wear a Polar watch, but I have had many watches and activity trackers over the years. I've had Apple Watches, I've had Fitbits, and these things are great tools to really show you how you do in this. So it shows you how many steps you take. It shows you how you exercise. It shows you how you sleep. It shows you how you recover. It's going to tell you the kind of parameters that you need to follow in order to live healthy. You don't need to wear them forever. I mean, I enjoy data, so I'm constantly looking at data, but there's people who wear them for 3 months and understand what it does, and they never wear them again, and that's fine. But understand before you go into programming and taking your workouts to the next level. So we need to win each day. That's the first part. Think about those parts of the day and make sure that you win each one. Maybe don't start by thinking I need to win all 4 parts of the day. If this seems like a lot, just try to win one part of the day. Micro goals equal maximum returns. I can't say that enough. And then you got to think about winning each week. Now, I'm a trainer. I'm going to take this into a fitness spin. I mean, Lauren will talk about it probably in different ways as well, but how we win each week is by completing our workouts, right? It's about getting 6 or 7 good quality nights of sleep, right? It's about making sure that I don't binge eat Saturday, Sunday, and ruin all the things that I just worked on all week. So you first want to have a little goal for each day, and then you want to expand that to each week, and then finally each month. And I'm going to talk about how we actually do this in the next slide. But winning each month would be like, I want to lose 5 pounds, or golf specific, I want to gain 2 miles an hour club head speed. Now, I've had a lot of athletes that come and work with me, and then after a month or two, they might be up 6, 7, 8 miles an hour club head speed. But we want to be realistic, and we want to start to think about this as an incremental process that constantly is changing, so we never plateau and we're always getting better. This is not going to be a quick fix scheme that I'm going to sell you. I'm going to sell you a lifestyle that you need to start implementing now if you want to live the life that you want. Okay, so micro goals, big thing. So how do I set a goal? What do I do with this? I create something called a SMART goal, but we'll come back to that. The secret sauce for all of this is consistency. I don't care what anyone's told you about. You need to take this pill, you need to drink this, you need to do this exercise, you need to whatever. The biggest thing that you can do to improve your health, reach the goals that you want to reach in terms of fitness and health, is be consistent. One thing I've learned being in this industry, being around so many health professionals, is in order to be the best and athletes, the best professionals do the really easy things consistently good, and they do it often. So for training, I put a lot of exercises out on Instagram that are very advanced. A lot of that stuff, if you were my client, you probably wouldn't even touch. We would start with the basics, and we would work on squatting patterns, lifting patterns, lunging patterns, pulling patterns, pressing patterns, torso patterns. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see people do consistently and be able to do them well, and that will add up. You have to control the things that you can control and show up every day. We can only do so much. We all have 24 hours. I have 2 young kids, and it's really made me have to think about how to optimize my time. We only have so many hours, so we have to be good, and we have to control what we can control. What can we control? Nutrition. What do I put in my body every single day? That is food, that is alcohol, drugs, that is anything. What do you put into your body every single day? You can control that. You can put positive things in your body or negative things in your body. And I think we all know the answer of the things that are going to help us achieve the optimal performance that we're looking for. How do you sleep? If we don't sleep, like I said, 7 to 9 or more for a younger athlete, we're not going to recover appropriately or properly. And the next time we go to our training session, we're still fatigued. Or the next time we go hit balls, I'm still stiff. Or my lower back aches because I only slept for 3 hours last night and my body couldn't recover from the 100 balls I hit yesterday. So sleep is so important. And I've said that a couple times already, and I'm probably going to say it 2 more times. Daily movements. A lot of people come to me and they want to train with me, and they're like, yeah, I'll come see you once a week. And I'm like, that's great. But then you're going to move the other 5 or 6 days of the week on your own, right? And people look at me like I have 5 heads. In order to be healthy, you need to move. You need to move every single day. Does that mean that you're going to max out your squat or you're going to max out your speed training every day? No. But you need to move every single day. You might lift weights 3 days a week or 4 days a week, but you might go for a walk 7 days a week. You might do mobility drills 7 days a week. You might run or cycle or get on a rower 4 or 5 days a week. I just filled 5 weeks right there, and we can use all that, all those variables, and add it into a week and make sure that you have 6 or 7 days of movement in your week. If you don't move, your body is going to become flat. It's not going to stay mobile. It's not going to continue to produce energy the way we want it to, and you are going to feel very lazy. Energy produces energy. You got to move. You got to move. Workout equipment and clothing, and especially with golfers too. I mean, like if you talk about your clubs, right? If your clubs aren't fit properly, you're going to be put in a improper posture. If your golf shoes are worn out, you're probably going to be overpronated at your foot. That's going to cause knee, hip pain. So you can control the things like your workout equipment, your shoes, your environment around you, where you do these things. That is a great way to make sure that the controllables are controlled by you and not by outside sources. So the secret sauce is consistency and controlling what you can control. Okay. So now the next slide, I'm going to talk about those goals that we talked about in the first slide. I'm going to talk about how to create them. Now you can do this with many different goals. Okay. I did this golf specific for right now, and I'll actually talk about a different one too. So SMART goals, you might have heard these before. I always do SMART goals with my clients. Okay. So we're going to talk about a specific goal, not just, I want to gain club head speed. That is not specific. What do you need to hit? What are the numbers that you need to hit in your tour to be effective? If we're talking about PGA Tour, you need to be swinging the club 120 miles an hour to be able to kind of play with some of those guys. The better guys are now up in the higher 120s, around 130. Like Bryson DeChambeau is even in high 130s, 140s now. So you need to be able to swing to your level though. If I'm talking about one of my younger juniors, they only hit the ball 150 yards. So it's different at different stages, but you need to understand what is the level I'm working towards. How can we measure this? So just saying you have a goal and not measuring it doesn't do anything. So you have to measure this. TrackMans are everywhere now, right? TrackMans, there's also speed rated or speed sensors you can buy, like if you're using super speed clubs or something like that, where you can understand how fast you swing the club. So measure it and understand where you're at, and then understand if you're getting better. That's the only way you get better. Assess, program, reassess, program, reassess. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. That's how you should live. Assess the situation, do something to change the situation, reassess, and keep growing, always growing. Okay. Is this realistic to achieve? Can I achieve 10 mile an hour club head speed? Maybe I can achieve 1 to 2 miles per hour a month. That should be my goal. So now if I look at this as an off season over 5 to 6 months, if you live in Canada, if you're in the States, I know there's not really an off season, but if you live in Canada, you have a few months, right? So maybe 5 months is dedicated to the gym and speed training. So when you come back out into the season, it's go time and your numbers are already going to be up there. But don't waste another month. Don't waste another year or week. It's time to develop a plan and improve on your weaknesses. Hire a coach. I'm not saying hire me, hire somebody. Hire somebody that can help you develop a plan. One of my biggest pet peeves with fitness, with the gym, with everything is there's so many people that go in there and just do what their friend does or what they've done for the last 20 years. This is not going to continue to motivate you to want to go to the gym. This is not going to continue to watch improvements happen. And this is not the right way to do it. Figure out a way to work with somebody. If you can't afford a personal trainer or a strength coach for 2 or 3 times a week, there are lots of people out there that will sit with you and develop a plan based on an assessment or based on some needs and help you go to the gym with a plan that's actually going to be effective for what you're trying to achieve. So make sure that you think about this before you go to the gym again. Trust me, it's way better and way more efficient to have a plan to be able to go through than to just go through and just say, I'm going to do chest today because I like the bench press. Okay. The only way you're going to be from average to elite, and that's my tagline, is to take thought and dedication to a process. All right. And I've been doing this for a long time and I've seen both sides of it. I've seen the 15-year-old who doesn't care, who's way more athletic than the other 15-year-old, but this 15-year-old cares and put time in. By the time they're 18, this one's down here and this one's up here. Okay. And that goes on at every stage of life, whether you're 40 and you're a weekend golfer, but your buddies don't go to the gym. You go to the gym. Now your buddies are tired on 9, the back 9, you're feeling great. There's so many ways to look at your playing field, look at the angle that you're trying to take with this, and just make sure that you're doing it with a process that has some thought behind it. It's not just cookie cut together from Instagram videos or Google or whatever. The people that are in the positions like me have education, they have gone through this, they have experience, they've worked with people, and they know how to provide you with something that can take your body and game to the next level. So consider that when you're thinking about what you really want out of 2022. Do you want to do the same thing? I know the last couple years have been rough on everyone. We really haven't had the motivation and kind of that I think we all usually do. but this is a new year. This is a new chance. Okay, let's make 2022 the best year yet. And are you ready? So my last thing that I'm going to say before I hand it over to Lauren is this is a quote I've been thinking about a lot lately. Quitters never win and winners never quit. So when you're going to write these goals and you're thinking about, should I keep doing this or should I do this at all? Think about this quote. Okay, think about that. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Okay, thank you for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed kind of my section of this. You can see here I got some contact details up on the page. You can check out my website, cscperformancecoaching.ca. If you do have any questions or you want anything, or you do have any inquiries about what I do or what I offer, you can email me at markcormier0@gmail.com. And then you can find me on Instagram and YouTube. I've been putting a ton of stuff on YouTube lately. So if you are looking for some different exercises or some different workouts, there's a lot of stuff on my YouTube channel. Check it out. All right, Lauren, you're up.
Awesome. Will you stop sharing your screen?
I will.
And then I will jump in here. Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Woodburn. I am a mental performance coach for golfers. Played competitive junior golf, played Division I college golf, loved every second of it. And I just couldn't leave golf alone. So here I am. Also, I will say, Mark says hire any coach, but if you're going to hire a physical coach, you should hire Mark. He knows what he's doing. He's passionate. He loves what he does, and he works with elite athletes all the time. And this is not his first rodeo. So if you're not already working with him, which I think some of you may be, you should be. The other thing I love about what Mark said is that the two things in college actually that we focused on in my collegiate golf season, and one of them we went to nationals, was win the day and control the controllables, which were two things that Mark focused on. So I think those are awesome things to start with: winning the day, winning every day. And if you just have to win the morning to start or the evening and then go from there, then yeah, take baby steps. So I love that. I'm going to talk a little bit about how using your brain to help you reach goals is so much more effective than just trying to use willpower. You see it every year. People make New Year's resolutions and the gyms fill up and the healthy food in the grocery store is like out of stock. And then come the third week in January, the gyms are back to their normal cycle. There's plenty of healthy food to go around, and that's just how it goes because we can only go so far on willpower. And that's what will happen to you too. If you set these goals for morning, afternoon, evening, and night, and you're like stoked and you're doing everything you need to do to win the morning and the evening and do your small goals, then in 3 weeks, you might start to break down. Your willpower will not be as strong. Or in 3 weeks, you might miss a day. And once you miss one day, your brain's like, well, do we really need to do that? What if we miss a second day? And then all of a sudden, it's like June, and you're like, what happened to these great goals I made? And so I want to teach you how to use your brain to accomplish your goals, to actually break par this year. So let's start with that. Your mind is your most underused asset in goal achievement, for sure, hands down. You try to do it with willpower, it's not enough. It's not. Sometimes it is for a little bit, but it won't be forever. So I'm going to give you quick, we like to keep these webinars moving, and we like to keep them pretty quick so that with some easy steps that you can start applying like today. So I'm going to give you 4 ways that you can involve your brain in your goal setting that will make all the difference. And part of these steps will actually line up really well with the way that Mark told you to start creating your goals. And you can create your goals in any way. If you can only set one right now, or if you have a different way that you set goals, that's okay too. Mark gave us a great example, but any of those ways, you can use your brain more effectively. So let's start with number 1, focus your brain on your goals. So your brain is like an unsupervised toddler. Your brain doesn't quite know much except what's good, what's bad, like what hurts, what feels good. And your brain is just trying to keep you safe. It's been this way since cavemen. Okay. And it hasn't changed very much. It's just the circumstances outside of us have changed. And so your brain is more wary about what's going on. But your brain wants to prove you right. Okay. If you think back to a time when you were like hitting the ball over the water, or you were on a par 3, or you needed a certain putt to win the tournament, and you kept thinking like, I don't know if I'm going to make this, or I don't want to miss this, and then after you do it, you're like, I knew that was going to happen. It's because your brain tries to prove you right. And so you got to focus your brain on your specific goal. Just like Mark said, you set that really specific goal. What are you going to do? And then you tell your brain about it every day. Okay. You need to tell your brain what you want. You need to focus your brain on breaking par this year, and it will do everything in its power to prove you right. I promise. If you're like telling your brain every day, this year we're going to break par in a tournament, or this year we're going to average 68, or this year I'm going to get my swing speed to be 130, whatever it is. Okay. You need to be really specific, and that's specific goals get specific results. If you just say, I want to be better, you might get better. Your brain will prove you right. It will find ways that you got better, but it won't be necessarily in the ways that you want to improve, in the ways that you feel like will help your game the most. Okay. So then the second one, very closely related. Remind yourself, your brain, about it every day, about your goals every single day. Write them down, because when you write them down, they become real. When they're just in your head, you can forget about them. You might not see them, but when you write them down, your goals become real to your brain. And put them in a place where you see them every single day. You could write it on your mirror with like not a Sharpie, a dry erase marker. You could put it on your phone lock screen, since we know you're looking at that all the time. You could put, one year I put this thing on my golf bag that just had my goals for the year. And so put them in a place where you'll see them every day, and then make it a priority to read your goal or your goals every single day. What are they? What do they look like? And then start to talk about your goals in first person. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's happened and like reality and imagination, and what's happened and what hasn't yet. And so you need to make this a reality for your brain. Talk about, I'm going to average 68 this year. Every tournament, like, this is what I'm going to eat for breakfast, and this is what my pre-tournament routine is. And then I'm going to go out feeling confident and ready to go, and I'm going to shoot under par. I'm going to shoot 68. I'm going to average 68 this year. And you make it real for your brain. And I promise, again, your brain will prove you're right. Your brain will work for you. And when your brain's working for you, you don't have to put in as much willpower. So you can focus on being the best player that you can be out there, when your brain is focused on helping you accomplish your goals, and you're not just trying to do it based on your own willpower. Okay. So super simple. Focus your brain on a specific goal. Remind your brain daily that it happens. And whenever you're talking about your goal to other people, talk about it in first person, like it's happening. Okay. Next, create an abundance mentality. Okay. This one's really important. And this one is a piece that lots of people leave out, because here's what happens. We think we have to do this. I have to shoot under par, average under par this year in tournaments. I have to. And you know what that creates? That creates anxiety and fear and doubt in your brain. It's like, oh my gosh, what if we don't do it? What's going to happen? The world is going to end. And then your brain freaks out, and then you freak out. And then when you play, every time you play, your body gets tight. You can't swing freely. You don't make great decisions because you're so concerned about the final product that you're shooting under par. Okay. But when you come from a place of abundance, then you just know it's going to happen, because there are thousands of players who learn how to shoot par every year, who shoot rounds under par every year. So why not you? You're a great golfer. You've put in the time, you've put in the work, you've hired a coach. Like, you're doing what you need to do. So it's going to happen. And you just let the goal happen, and you let yourself believe fully that it's going to happen, and you're not worried about it. You're not coming from a place of scarcity. Okay. And so coming from a place of abundance is crucial. It's so, so important. In fact, I think it's one of the most important things. And so there's a little activity that you can do to start working on coming from a place of abundance. So what I want you to do, and you don't have to do this now because I know you all have busy lives, but in your phone or on a piece of paper, write down 10 things that you want out of your golf game. Like 10 things you want to be good at, or 10, like I want a swing speed of 130, I want to average 68 or whatever. But here's the catch. Every other item has to be something that you already have in your golf game or something you've already accomplished. So like if you can hit the perfect flop shot, then put that one. And then if you're trying to get your swing speed to be 130, put that as the second one. Then the third one, something you've already done. I want to play in, or I don't know, play in a certain number of tournaments this year, or I want my putting average to be whatever it is. If it's you're a great putter, or I want to hit a certain number of greens in regulation that you're already doing. Okay. And these can change because you might want to improve those things, but look at the things you're already good at, because here's what will happen. One, your brain will consistently see all the things that you are already good at. You will be grateful for those things. You will be confident in those things. And your brain will be like, well, since we did these things, then we can definitely do these other things. We can definitely get there. We can definitely get our swing speed to 130, or we can definitely average 68 this year in tournaments. And the little trick is that in between the things you already are good at, you already have in your game, is something you need to get better. And so that's another thing of your brain just being like, oh, this is what we're proving right. This is what we're proving, is that we can do all of these things. And so your brain starts to work from that place of all the things you're great at instead of all the things you're not great at. Okay. So do that activity. It'll help, I promise. Last thing. Okay. Handle negative thoughts and emotions, because they're going to come up. And this seems silly, like maybe a little frilly, like I don't want to talk about my feelings, Lauren, but trust me, this is crucial, because what will happen is you will start to work on your goals. You'll have how you're going to win the day, and you'll have your abundance mentality, and you'll be working hard, and then you'll miss a day, and your brain will be like, can we really do this? Or your brain will be like, are we cut out for this? We missed a day. Like, what if we miss another day? And your brain will start to like make up these stories in your head about why you might not be able to get to your goals. And your brain's doing this because your brain loves you, but your brain wants you to be happy all the time. It doesn't want you to feel pain or frustration or sorrow, which is funny because then it causes that for you when you miss something. So I would say, one, if you miss a day, or you don't win a morning, but you win the afternoon, or you don't win a day, but you win the next day, like, don't give up. It's not a big deal. It's not. If you win, this is about micro wins. And if you win like 30 out of 31 days, guess what? The compound interest of what you've done is going to override the one day you miss. It's not a big deal. This is not an all or nothing thing. So it's okay. All right. And one of the ways that you can handle the negative thoughts and emotions, because another thing that will happen is you're going to go out, you're going to be confident, you're going to be doing great things, and you're going to go with an abundance mindset. And then you're going to shoot 78 instead of that 68 that you were planning on. And your brain's just going to be like, I don't know if we can do this. Maybe we shouldn't even try. And so then what you're going to do to handle these moments with your brain, you need to kind of create some awareness. You'll have to start to notice them when this is happening. And when it does happen, I want you to do a thought dump. And this could be something you get in the habit of after a round or after a practice. And you just write down all the things you're thinking or feeling, all the negative things, all the positive things, all the crappy things. And you just let it all out. It's like a garbage dump, because it pulls all those thoughts out of your mind. And then you can really look at them and evaluate them. And that's what this second bullet point, that's where that comes in. You need to address your concerns, your brain's concerns, from a place of completion. So if you were to ask yourself, so let's picture that Mark's goal is to average 68, but he just shot 78. So he goes and he writes down all the frustrations. Man, I didn't do this well, and I didn't do this well. Maybe we can't do this. Why did I set this goal? And then he's going to step back, and he's going to step into the shoes of Mark, December 2022, who has averaged 68 in all his tournaments. And he's going to be like, what would he say? What would he say about shooting a 78 today? They'd probably say, it's not that big of a deal. Guess what? You figure it out. You work hard, you continue to win the day and control the controllables. And dude, you average 68 in your tournaments. Okay. And I know it sounds kind of funky, like you're talking to yourself, you're talking to your brain, but these emotions, they affect you. They affect everything because they control all the actions, all the motivations that happen come from feelings. Every shot you hit comes from a feeling. Like if you hit a bad shot, it's because you were feeling tight or you were not feeling confident. And so you want to learn to understand those feelings and those thoughts and then let them go. Let them go. Okay. And I know this is kind of a big concept and I'm going over it quickly. And so please reach out. You can email, you can reply email to the email reminders about the event and ask me any questions. You can schedule a session with me and we can talk through all of these things and talk through these emotions and how to curb them and how to teach your brain that you're in charge, that you're confident, and that you are excited about what you can accomplish. Okay. Now, this is just what I want to show you really quickly. And this is kind of how my coaching style works. And this is where we're going to go from a desperate model to an abundance model, which is what we're kind of the piece of working on your brain. And this has to do with, this is kind of where we go. Once you do your thought dump as a coach, I'll help you break it out into this model that I love and that tells no lies, so that we can determine why you're playing from a place of fear or why you're playing from a place of doubt, and then as you begin to figure out how to play from a place of confidence and excitement or calm, if that's where you need to play from, then you're going to start to accomplish all these goals and it's going to be awesome. So just look at this. The desperate model, okay? Your circumstance. Today, you have never broken par in a tournament. This may not be true. You could use this for any goal, but this is just the example. Today, you've never broken par in a tournament yet. And your thought is, I have to break par this year in a tournament. I have to. So then you start to feel fear, like, what if I don't? Or you start to feel anxious, like, that's a lot of pressure. And then because you're playing from a place of fear, here's what happens. You don't play as well. Your body's tense. You don't make great decisions. You're frustrated after every round because you are proving yourself true that this might not happen, right? You're concerned about it. And so you're proving your brain true. And so in every shot, you're focused on the end. You're focused on the 68 or the 78 instead of the shot in front of you. And so what's the result? You don't break par this year. It's the desperate model. Here's the abundance model, okay? Same circumstance. Circumstance doesn't change. It's just the way that you think about it and interpret it. You haven't broken par in a tournament this year. Your thought, my golf game is better than it's ever been, and I'm totally capable of shooting 1 under. Totally capable. And you just tell yourself that over and over again. And so you feel confident. And so when you feel confident, you feel loose. You swing freely. You're not concerned with mistakes. You're not concerned about the goal because you're just like, this is going to happen. And every shot, you're confident, right? And so the result is the same as your thought. Your golf game is the best it's ever been, and you shoot 1 under in a tournament. You make it happen because you're controlling your emotions and you're managing your brain. You're managing that unsupervised toddler. And it makes all the difference. I promise. So 4 steps again. Focus your brain on your goals. Remind your brain about your goals daily. Write down your goals and put them where you can see them. Create an abundance mindset. Do that abundance activity. And if you got to do it once a week until you just totally believe that you've got this, then you do it. And then you learn to handle negative thoughts and emotions. All right. This is the secret sauce to accomplishing your goals and using your brain. So I highly encourage you to do it. We also have a new Facebook group that Mark and I are both on. You can ask us questions here any day, anytime, and we'll go on there and answer them about your mind, about physically, how to accomplish what you want to accomplish, about setting your goals, whatever you want to do. We want to make this happen for you. We are, and I'm sorry, it's getting dark here, and my light's out, but we love what we do, and we're passionate about helping you be your best. And so please, like, I would love to have a session with you about setting your goals this year and helping you to create thoughts around them that help you accomplish them. So even just respond to one of my emails and we'll get something set up so that we can get you on your way. Also, I will offer that the first 3 people to respond to my emails, I'll give them a free session, a free goal setting session, where we go through your goals for the year and how you're going to accomplish them. And that'll be a 45-minute session. Usually I do 30-minute sessions, but it'll be 45 so that we can get through all your goals for the year and really make a good plan. So thanks for joining us today. We'll stay on for the next few minutes for anyone who wants to ask a few questions. I think there may be a couple questions in there. And then feel free to contact us if you need anything, we're here to help you and we want to help you become your best. So thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, there is a couple questions in the chat, Lauren.
Okay, question for them. What do you suggest how to think mentally when I keep hitting bad shots after bad shots in a round? So for everyone, it's different. But usually the reason that you're hitting bad shots, so like that model I just showed you, your action, your result is that you're hitting bad shots. Why are you hitting bad shots? Like what's happening? Is it in your swing? Is it because you're nervous over the ball? What you'd have to tell me why are you hitting these bad shots? And then we'll talk about if it's coming from a feeling like you're tense or you're frustrated, because once you hit one bad shot, usually what happens is you're like, I don't want to do that again. And so you feel anxious and you feel frustrated. And then when you feel anxious and frustrated, you know what happens? Your body gets tight. You don't believe you can do it anymore. You lose confidence. And so then guess what? You hit another bad shot. And then you just go into this spiral of like, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. And we just got to get you out of that spiral, because hitting every round of golf, every golfer hits a bad shot. So hitting a bad shot is not the problem. What you think, what you do, how you respond, that's what we got to work on. And we can totally do that. So Ian, shoot me an email and we can talk through this a little bit, or message me on Instagram or something, and we can hash this out. But everyone is different and every player is different, and we just got to find what works for you, that's what I help you do as a coach, and then we'll make it happen. So here's to 2022, everyone. We're excited, and please feel free to reach out to us and let us help you do what we do best.
Thanks, everyone. And I will send everyone that signed up for this a free workout program in the next few days. Once we get all the email addresses, I will definitely send that out to everyone. So thanks for joining us today, and we hope you enjoyed the content.